I think one thing that Buddhism's taught me is, and helped me to realise, is the fact that we don't need, we don't have, and we don't know. The more that we think we need, the more we clamber after. And within Buddhism, we sort of, within our ethical structure, we don't clamber after stuff, or we try to cultivate less. So finding that we can reduce, reuse and recycle a lot easier, because within our ethics, we're finding that our ethics actually have the same stance as ecological ideals as well, that they're just there naturally. Taking care of things, looking after things, nurturing, being compassionate and kind, these are all parts of living in a healthy environment. So that's what I find my practice helps me to cultivate easier. It becomes second nature rather than having to be something that I work at. It's already within me.
I think the fundamental principles of interconnectedness as well in Buddhism. When you live in the city, it's such a kind of artificial environment, you can start to feel a bit, you're not connected in the kind of a sense of that, and then you come back to nature and you just remember how connected everything is and how everything affects everything. So I think it is really important.
I think we've all got this connection with nature, we've all got it within us, and some people don't connect with it and they sort of lose that connection. I think that can happen to us living the lives that we do. And it just helps us realise how important nature is and how we need to look after it, conserve our surroundings, etc. I think for me it just helps kind of strengthen that relationship really with the natural world, and how we ought to care for it, look after it, and not just not waste it really.
The oceans of virtue.
The oceans of virtue.
May they bless us and all beings.
May they bless us and all beings.
Any benefits that we have gained.
Any benefits that we have gained.
Through this period of practice.
Through this period of practice.
May they bear fruit in our lives.
May they bear fruit in our lives.
May they be shared with all.
May they be shared with all.
And may this be so.
And may this be so.
From this time forward.
From this time forward.
Until all suffering has been liberated.
Until all suffering has been liberated.
Within the world.
Within the world.
I think there has to be more sort of individual responsibility, and I think the great thing about Buddhism is it's all about your own practice. I think in terms of what you are trying to achieve, trying to just broaden your awareness, your mindfulness, increase your metta, your loving kindness and compassion, and the energy to put it all together. I see the loving kindness, the compassion element really connecting with nature, so it's not just other people, it's all beings, and by extension all things that support beings.
I think more ethical kind of choices in our lives as well, sort of organic produce and looking at where it's come from, and is consumer goods, do we really need something else, or can we be satisfied with what we have?
And I also, when I'm out, I like to do walking meditations. I find that really some of those meditations can be more real and intense than the sitting meditation really. And I think some of that's to do with the rhythm. You have a rhythm when you walk, and that rhythm kind of calms your mind down and allows you to become more aware of things. You become more aware of the feeling of you walking on the ground and stuff like that.
Siddhartha wasn't going into a pretty forest to sort of, admire the wildlife. Siddhartha's forest was a place of real danger. So he was facing his own demons head on. And to some extent, I suppose that's what we're doing. I think what happens when you go on any kind of retreat is you get away from your usual distractions, the normal scenarios that you find yourself in, the sort of habits that you have developed over a lot of years are suddenly taken away, and so you start to focus more on exactly who you are. Your experience becomes a lot more raw and a lot more immediate, and I think that's where you get your sort of intensity of the experience from. And like I said, being in a field as well adds something else, and that you don't really have all your creature comforts around you, and those that you do have, like your cup of tea or Clive making or the food or whatever, you appreciate all the more.
I think it's taking some of that kind of feeling, so whether that's sort of feeling more grounded, feeling more embodied, feeling more relaxed, feeling more spacious, and trying to sort of live out from that more, because it is about your state of mind really, and it kind of feels as if that nature can kind of reflect that in some kind of way.